Hey guys, welcome back to Chess for Nerds, and today I'm back with a rather clickbaity video. I know I wouldn't usually do this stuff, but right now I'm gonna show you why. This was one of my best games that I played a couple days ago. I had a real brilliant move here, which was actually a knight sacrifice, but I'm not gonna tell you too much on that. So anyways, let's get into it. I was playing white in this game, and I was playing against Lucas 1924Q. Here I played e4, my opponent responds with e5, I played knight f3 attacking the pawn in the center, and my opponent plays knight to c6. After I played knight to c3, I played a 3 knights opening, wanting to develop my bishop and stuff like that. Here my opponent played d6, I don't know why, it blocked the diagonal for his own bishop while opening another one. I don't know if this is the best, but here I played bishop to c4. Next, my opponent played bishop to g4, attacking my knight and creating a pin to my queen. But I wasn't really worried to have doubled pawns because I could take back with my queen. And after I castled and didn't do anything about it, my opponent took. And after I took back with my queen, I was threatening a checkmate here with my queen and my bishop on f7. My opponent should have played queen to d7 early, defending this square, but instead my opponent developed his knight to the wrong square, while defending this square, of course. But here I played d3. This was creating another checkmate threat, because after I take, my opponent will take back, and I will have a checkmate here on f7 because there is no defense on that square. So here my opponent played knight to d4, attacking my queen and getting his knight in the center. Here I played queen to h5, getting my queen even closer to the f7 square, and my opponent played knight takes c2. This wasn't such a great move because he allowed me to take the knight for basically free, because if you take back, I will checkmate you. So here I took the knight, bishop takes h6 and g6, opening up the diagonal for the bishop while also attacking my queen. Here I played queen to f3, another checkmate threat on f7. And my opponent played queen to d7, defending that square. Well, since I didn't have any more checkmate threats, I decided to take on f8 to trade off a dark squared bishop while I'm up material. Here my opponent took back with his rook, declaring that he didn't want to short castle, and he wanted to get his rook over here while castling his king. Here I played rook to c1 because I wanted to attack the knight while also bringing my rook out of danger. Here my opponent played knight d4, gaining tempo on a queen. If you don't know what tempo is, it's gaining time so that he got his knight in the center and made a useful move, while I'll be forced to move my queen away. And that's exactly what I did. I played queen to e3, attacking the knight here, and my opponent played f5. Here I just took on f5, and my opponent took f5 with his knight. I would prefer taking with the pawn, like the computer said, because it really improves your center, because your f pawn will be controlling the e4 square, and your d pawn and your e pawn will be controlling the d4 square. And here you could even play d5, controlling the c4 square. So next I played queen to e1. I needed to get my queen out of danger, and my opponent played queen to c6. Here I kind of blundered, because the best move for me was this, bishop to b5. This is called a pin, when you pretty much attack a piece while they can't do nothing about it. But instead, I made a small mistake and played bishop to d5, pinning it to the pawn here. So after queen to d7, I took on the pawn, and my opponent took the rook to b8 square. I think that bishop takes was the best because you kind of force your opponent to stop their castle because they've moved both of their rooks now. And they can't castle anymore and get their king to safety. Their king is in the middle of the board, pinned to the queen. So here I played bishop to d5. And after rook takes b2, I played a brilliant move. I played knight to a4. What? That's you sacrificing a knight. Well, I'm not sacrificing a knight, because after playing this, I played bishop to c6 check while attacking the queen. Great move by me. Here, instead of taking on the knight, my opponent saw that his rook was under attack and played rook to b4. Here, after that, I played bishop to c6. This pinned the queen to the king, and there was no escape. After this, my opponent took my knight, and I took the queen. Here, after king takes d7, I played queen to c3, attacking this pawn while also creating a threat of a fork right here. Well, my opponent didn't see that. I think this was a mouse slip, but who knows. Here I played queen to c6 check, forking the king and the rook. After king to e6, I took on the rook on a4, and knight to d4 was played. This creates this threat of a fork, which I did not spot inconveniently, and it also brings your knight into the center. Queen to c4 check, creating a fake fork here, and d5, and after d5, I check my opponent on a6, forking the pawn and the king. After king to f5, I played queen takes a7, and my opponent saw a fork, so why don't they do it? They attack the king while attacking the rook. Here, I had a forced move since my king was stuck in a corner. Here, after knight takes, I took back with my rook. And after my d-pawn took the e4 square, my opponent took back, having their king kind of push here. And after this, I played queen to a5 check. I know I didn't spot mate in 1 here, but I played rook to c6 check, king to g7, and queen a7 check, king to h6, rook to c7, aligning my queen and my rook. And after this, my opponent played rook to d8, very sneaky move here, because you're threatening a back rank checkmate. And if something like this happens, yeah, you checkmate me on this square. But that did not happen. Here, I played h3, having a safe square for my king. And here, my opponent played rook to d1 check, forcing my king out here. And my opponent was trying to create problems with this pawn and also threatening both of mine. But these were fake threats because my queen was protecting both of these squares. Here I played queen to e3, another fork, and my opponent blocked with the g-pawn. I took the rook, that rhymes, e3, creating small problems and also trying to give up all of your pieces to hope for a stalemate. And here I played queen takes d6, next king to h5, kind of blocking in your king and supporting this pawn here. And after I took with my rook, I played rook takes h7, the king was forced to g6, I played rook to d7, allowing my queen in here, and g4, and after g4 I played rook to d6 check, and here I had mate in 1, which I thankfully spotted. Well, thank you guys for watching, for hopefully enjoying. Leave a like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments down below what you thought of that move, because I thought it was pretty nice. Thank you. See you in the next one. Peace.